Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining me yet again. We are, of course, still doing our spooky season movie marathon, and we're kicking ass and taking names. We're on day 5, and I just watched a movie that I cannot wait to talk about with you because it's unique, to say the least. So, I'm Tristan. Thanks again for coming by. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the little movie that could. Coherence.
Does everyone else still not have service?
I haven't even checked.
Nothing.
I got 0.
It's weird. Maybe the
Do I need to
tower's
go check?
down.
I'm sure I have none.
The tower's down? Like,
I mean, it's not telling you guys. Comet. Comet.
the comet hit the tower?
Comet.
Wheeler's comet.
Yes. Thank you.
Comments.
Or the
I read something this morning about a comet in the 1930s. It was in Finland.
knocked out all of the cell towers.
Yes, it did.
Coherence is written and directed by James Ward Bykrit. It's the first movie I've ever seen from him. Truth be told, it's the first time I've ever heard of him. And this movie is about 8 friends who get together for a nice, very white, very privileged dinner party. And there is a celestial happening. A comet is passing overhead. And boy, oh boy, do strange, weird, insane things start to happen. And it ain't because of the wine.
It was actually crazy because it affected the people. After it passed, they would get lost. They would end up in the wrong home. They wouldn't really know where they were.
Relate.
This one woman called the police and said that the man in my house is not my husband. And then the police came over and they said, "This is your husband." She said, "No, this is not my husband. I killed my husband yesterday."
Awesome.
That's how I know it's not him.
I'll just say this right off the bat. This movie is the definition of slow burn. Right away you can tell it's very, very low budget. It feels very indie. And if that immediately turns you off, I can't really help you here. It's just one of those movies that has a certain aesthetic immediately. Now, does that change because of other aspects of the film? Yes. And it gets much more interesting than a small, quirky mumblecore drama. Trust me. As I was watching it, taking in the first act, all these different characters, all their different dynamics, which is written very well, by the way, I noticed his editing style, and I liked it a lot. It is very purposeful, even though it feels haphazard.
So who did he tell?
Well, we got an email about it, and I mean, just as +1, and then I was like, plus what?
Laura, yeah?
As the first act continued, I was waiting for it to get more cinematic. I was waiting for more color palettes. I was waiting for wider angles, steadier cam, a locked off shot, a wide shot, something that where the camera is not like, sometimes this movie, as it starts off, looks so amateurish. It looks like he's gonna drop the camera. Now, I made a note of it and I said, I hope this gets a little better. Here's the thing, it doesn't. But I loved it. I started to warm up to every cinematic choice he had made from the beginning towards the middle of the movie. And here's why things that are off-putting that he's doing as a director, suddenly you understand and you warm up to and embrace. It's because of the script. This script is nothing short of phenomenal. It is so well written and so layered and so twisty and explosive. You cannot help but be sucked in. It is one of these scripts that outweighs every other part of the movie. And not to a point where it's a detriment. No. This just leads the way. It is the commander-in-chief. You go to the script for answers. It doesn't take a giant tumor monster to keep your attention. It takes the slightest coincidence or twist or a strange payoff that you didn't know was a setup earlier. It's a triumphant script. The way it leaks out information is perfect. The mystery of this movie is completely and utterly engaging as to what is happening to these characters. As more information comes along, you are satisfied every turn, because not only does it open another avenue of strangeness, mystery, and weirdness, but it also answers questions. And it fills in character motivation and behavior. And almost every single scene is like doing 3 or 4 things for the movie at a time. All the while, the director is keeping pace with this uncomfortably intimate cinematography. And again, towards the middle of the movie, everything starts to work together. So even though you want more color than these harsh yellows and subtle reds, you're like, okay, this is working with everything for some reason. I don't need greens or blues or cool midnights. No, this is working. This is weird and off-putting. Every little choice is disorientating by design. What a feat to do it on such a small budget with a largely unknown cast, with a director I've never heard of, who's doing writing duties and directing duties.
What's the box?
That was at the other house. I thought I saw Hugh put it down, then he was running around the corner and...
But he
You just took it?
Well, I just followed him. I didn't
Why was he
I had it
running?
in my hand.
Hugh, what happened?
And it all works to make a taut, tense, like nail-biting, sci-fi, horror, weird mystery. The twists in this movie just completely floor you as they come at a steady pace, even when they're subtle. And for a movie that is essentially social anxiety horror set in one place, 2 things need to work. The script needs to be airtight, and your cast needs to step up to the plate. Both hit homers, one after the other. I don't know any of these actors except for one who I think was on Buffy. Maybe. You know, it starts off, it's so white and so privileged and so fake, and you're thinking, well, this is a little cheesy. But then you realize, oh, they don't actually really like each other or know each other that well. And this is just like every dinner party you've ever been to. Kind of fake at first. But when the shit goes down, the real performances, the real truth of these characters starts to blossom, and all the actors run with it. And they run hard and they run fast, and they are great. There is not much in this movie to talk about, even though there's plenty to talk about. I just don't want to give anything away because, my God, you should watch this. You should watch this. You know, especially if you like Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, stuff like that. As a deliberate piece of art that is trying to test the audience's coherence, as an experiment in that regard, it passes with flying colors. It succeeds exceptionally. Because it almost passes on the characters' disorientation, paranoia, and fear right into you, just sitting here, just watching people interact and try to figure out what's going on. It does so much with so little. And how can you not love a piece of art that is able to do that is able to conjure up feelings in you with a glance, or with a sound effect, or with one line?
Oh, wow, look at that.
It's magnificent.
Holy moly.
After you're done watching it, you think about it. And you can't help but think about it. You go, what? Whoa. Whoa. I completely recommend this. I really hope you guys check it out. I want to know what you think. I want to know if it kept you invested with the subtle auteur aesthetic, or if it turned you off because, oh, this is some art house bullshit. I'm curious. I hope you dig it. I loved it. Check it out. Thank you guys so much for coming back and checking out our spooky season movie reviews. It's been a blast. I'm watching great films, also some shitty ones, but so far the movies have been eclectic and alive, and this one especially, I want to thank Elia, our buddy, our friend, our loved one who curated this movie list. This one caught my eye. I had always wanted to watch it, and it was sitting right there, and I thought, he's reading my mind. Nice. Oh, also, he made this shirt, and I gotta say, truer words were never spoken. Am I right?
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother! Do you understand?
And of course, here comes the awkward begging. Subscribe to the channel, because I'll die if you don't. Like the episode, share the episode, and come on back tomorrow. We're going to keep chugging these episodes out as fast as we can. Thanks again. Happy spooky season, and make sure to stay spooky, folks.